Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Rehabilitation Science Group. Today we are having with the very interesting topic, Neurobics, the exercising the mind-body connections. Today's our guest is Dr. Harihara Prakash sir. Sir, I would like to take your consent. We are going live on YouTube for your lecture.
Sure, I give a consent.
Uh, thank, thank you, sir. Now the today's moderator is Dr. Dhram Pandey. Sir, I would like you should proceed further.
Thank you, Sagun sir. Today topic we are going to cover is Neurobics, a very interesting topic, and we are privileged to have Dr. R. Harihara Prakash. He is a principal and professor, Department of Physiotherapy, K.M. Patel Institute of Physiotherapy, Baikhara University. And he is having more than 24 years of clinical and academic experience. He is also being certified chiropractor and osteopath. Dr. Prakash has completed his UZ from Pondicherry Central University in 1997. He has completed his master's from MGR Medical University, Tamil Nadu in 2001. And he has also completed his doctorate in physical therapy from National University of Medical Sciences, Spain. We welcome you, sir. Dr. Prakash has very numerous awards to his credit. He is a recipient of Rashtriya Vidya Saraswati Puraskar Award to his credit. He is also being awarded for IAP Oration Award. He is being awarded for Academic Excellence Award and very prestigious Dr. M.G. Mokaksi Professional Excellence Award. He has delivered various lectures, workshop he has conducted on NDT, MET, the very unique workshop, Pilates, manual therapy, and all that. So all over India, and he's a well-known speaker in various conferences. He has delivered his lecture. We are very privileged and fortunate to have you on this platform, Dr. Prakash. And we would love to hear you for your lecture on very interesting topics. So welcome you to this platform, sir. Platform is yours to use, sir. You can start the session. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Dhram Pandey, for your kind words. It feels good to hear about yourself. But I dedicate all these good words to my students, my parents, and my dear friends who had put me on this right path called as physiotherapy, because of which I am known to many. Otherwise, I am just Harihara Prakash, unknown to many. Physiotherapy had given me the face, and because of which I am there in this platform too. And outset, let me thank Rehabilitation Science Group, Dr. Shagun, Dr. Dhram Pandey, and Dr. Harpreet. All three of us, more than that, we are very good friends always for the profession. I thank them personally and heartfully for this great opportunity. And it's always a privilege to talk on this topic. Actually, when I was invited to deliver a talk, I picked up a topic which is very essential for this present COVID-19, as we are all into this pandemic shocker. We are still not out of it, and everywhere it is like, Bhagwan jaise har jagah par hai, aise COVID har jagah par ho gaya. And teaching has come online, and everything is now happening online. We are in the virtual platform, and that's how, again, this is also one of the benign blessing of COVID, because of which we are over here in this. So I picked up a topic, something related to strategies and competencies, how to engage students while online teaching. Because being a FAMER fellow from Nepal, I'm inducted into medical education, and my focus is more now towards medical education and all. So I did some few talks on that and small workshops on that. So I thought I can do that. But this came as a surprise for me, and Dr. Shagun said people wanted to hear about this topic. So I always feel glad talking about it. And it is, in fact, Neurobics is something which I practice in my day-to-day life, as and when, wherever it is possible. It is not a topic by itself. It is a way of life. And many of you would have heard about something called as aerobics, which is very common in our field, where we prescribe it, we do it. Neurobics is also not that new, but probably many of you who are there in this virtual platform may be hearing it for the first time. So I'm just going from a small basic level to the little bit practical applied part of it. So the topic itself says it is exercising the brain-body connections. Like, we have a hell lot of physical exercises to build up the muscle bulk, maybe biceps or pecs or abs or quadriceps. But how should we exercise our brain? So it is, we all have studied in our college days, the fertilizer to the brain is exercises. The brain recognizes the movement, not the muscle. So anything that you move in the body will definitely get recorded in the brain. So we have something called as homunculus, a revision to the first year, where each part of the body is represented in this brain. The more that you use, that gets imprinted more. For example, a person who is an artist, his finger will be more represented in his homunculus. A person who is a football player, and his foot mainly, that is there in the homunculus. So the more that you use, the body which gets used more is get represented in the brain. So it is how we are going to challenge your brain. It is all about how you cheat your brain. It's all how you use your brain, basically engaging your brain for your betterment of your life. That is what is exercising the brain-body connections. So stay with me for next 45 minutes to 1 hour. Hopefully that I should try to give a glimpse out of what it is. And I'll be showing some future references too, and you can take note of it. So let me just go on to the topic. Just a second. The disclaimer is I'm not very good at technology, but still I'll try. So this is my campus where I am engaged. It is in Anand, which is in between Ahmedabad and Vadodara. It is a 100-acre huge campus, the university. We have various colleges, including medical sciences with all specialties, physiotherapy, nursing, and everything. We have a very good hospital catering to all sort of needs, cancer and cardiac surgeries. Everything happen on a regular basis, bone marrow transplant. So it's just, I'm showing it as a virtual platform because there is a reason for showing all these things also. The mind likes to visit places. You'll be happy. The person who is a travel jockey, who visits places, are wiser than anybody else who is just inside four walls. This COVID has restricted our mobility and we are not moving out that much. So probably this will, you are seeing from wherever you are, the Gujarat Anand our campus. So that will freshen up your mind. You are welcome to visit my place anytime for any future purpose. This is my campus. And this is our privilege center where we cater to elite population, because Gujarat is full of NRIs. So we cater to their needs too. And we have Ashirwad wards, more than 500 wards, which cater to poor people. And we have a very good auditorium, indoor and outdoor. We have a very good gym. So these are all an additional attraction for a student to stay back within the campus. So it's academically and with all extracurricular, we are doing well by the grace of God. This is the place where I belong to as of now, though from Pondicherry. Okay. So now to start with the topic, can I conduct a quiz? You will be interested in answering. This quiz is not related to neuroanatomy or neurophysiology or anything related to physiotherapy. This is related to your day-to-day life. I'm going to show you some 10 questions. Normally we do it as an activity when we do live workshop or classes over here. But in this virtual platform, I want you to take a piece of paper or pen, or if you're good at mathematics, just mentally keep it in your brain. These 10 questions I'll be showing it in the form of slides. All that you have to answer is in the form of numbers, 1, 2, 3, or 4. 1 means that never you have done. I'll be asking certain questions. Are you doing this? How often you do this? Like that. So if you never do it, you put a score of 1. If you do it sometime, you can put a score of 2. And if you do it frequently, you can put a score of 3. And you do it very regularly, quite often, you can put a score of 4. So 10 questions means the highest score will be 40 and the lowest score will be 10. And there is no right or wrong answer. And it is about yourself. So you can give a genuine answer to each question so that you can know yourself. So after the 10th question, we'll take you directly into the topic. So these 10 questions will form a base for each one of you who are in this virtual platform to know how this topic is going to help you. The purpose is that it is just not a quiz to engage you. It is to know yourself and to know whether this topic is already you are doing such things or you have to do it or you are in the mid. So shall we go into the quiz? Let's take it. The first question comes in front of you. How often do you go for shopping? But I think this is not a right question at this COVID period. So you can imagine yourself 3 months before. Probably right now, everybody is afraid going for shopping out. But in general, it is, you can imagine yourself year down also. If you do regularly, always put score 4. This is other than the local market. It is not going for sabji kharidne ke liye ya doodh lene ke liye, newspaper lene ke liye. ऐसे नहीं है. To buy something, to just to explore, it can be a window shopping too. Not necessarily you have to spend some thousands or money to buy something. Some people are interested going for window shopping. Just go around, look around, and come back. So you can rate yourself 1, 2, 3, or 4. How often do you go for shopping? That's the first question. Hope you have written your score. The second question, how often do you prefer to enjoy with your friends rather than watching TV? Given a chance, you socialize more. The question means that whenever there are some people who will be sitting in front of the television to watch a lot of movies or serials or cartoon or some whatever they like it, or some people will always find a chance to be with their friends. So if you do never that you meet your friends means 1, sometimes means 2, and you frequently enjoy with your friends means 3, and you always wait for an opportunity to be with your friends means 4. Hope you have scored this too. How often do you change the place to enjoy your holidays? Whenever there is a holiday, weekend, or it can be a week long, or it can be your summer vacation, winter vacation, you change the place. It's not that always I go to my dadi's place or nani's place or my in-laws place. So you just change your places. So score it for 1, 2, 3, or 4. So I'm just going it slow so that probably you have to read the screen and all if it is. So I'm just going it one by one. The next question, how often do you take a new route, change the mode of conveyance to your study or workplace? If you are a professional commuting between your hospital and your home, to your college to your home, or if you are a student, so how do you do? Do you go by walk sometime, you take car sometime, you take your public transport like metro trains or local taxis? How do you do it? Or you have a fixed mode? I go by my two-wheeler, Activa. In that case, you will write, I don't take, if you don't change any mode of conveyance, you put it as never, which is scoring 1. And if you regularly keep on changing your conveyance, even sometimes it can be route. Route in the sense you take a different route always, quite often. It's not that you take the same route. But many of you must be taking the same route. In that case, you can always score yourself into 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever that you are doing it. Hopefully you are done with this question too. Next, how often do you change the style of food? Sometimes it's multi-cuisine. Sometimes I enjoy Italian. Sometimes I enjoy South Indian food. Sometimes Punjabi food. Sometimes Gujarati dish. You keep on changing, or you like to have a fixed type of menu. Morning is only sort of idli, upma, or paratha. Or dopaher, it's always about rice and dal. In the night, it is going to be a limited amount of milk and biscuits, which is a fixed menu. So you just ask yourself, what is your habit, and score yourself. How often do you change the style of food? So change karte hain, frequently means 3, always you do it 4. So it is an arbitrary thing. You just, by and large, you have to imagine yourself and give your score. If you're done with this, we'll move to the next question. How often do you redecorate or redesign your bedroom or drawing room? At home, it can be, you can imagine at your home, or it can be if professionals who are sitting over here in this virtual platform, you can ask yourself about your workplace, the table where you are sitting, the computer which is there on the left side, sometime move on to the right side, or you change sometime your chair facing the door or away from the door. So how often do you redecorate or redesign your bedroom or drawing room? So bedroom drawing room is an example. It can be any living place that you spend more. It can be your office. It can be your bedroom or drawing room or hall, whatever. So that is the question where you have to answer 1, 2, 3, or 4. Next question is, how often do you change your styles and dresses? This is another simple and a happy question. You sometimes wear t-shirts and jeans. Sometimes you wear, apart from the uniform. Okay, if there are students, forget about the uniform. It's about your style, weekend style. Whenever you move out, you change your dresses. It can be your hairstyle also. Sometimes you have long hair, sometimes you have French beard, sometimes you have full beard, sometimes you are clean shaven. How often do you change your styles and dresses? Okay, that's this question. Ask yourself, look yourself, and be genuine to your answer. So that will give you a perfect picture about what you are, who you are. Next is, how often do you change the mode of entertainment, such as playing, dancing, going to movie? So the one was hobby. Here it is about entertainment. Sometimes if you like dancing, you dance. Sometimes you play some sports. It can be cricket or badminton or whatever, or going to a movie, or it can be something like the music also. Sometimes you listen to any classical music. Sometimes you go into filmy music. Sometimes you go for some bands you listen to. So how much variety you have in entertaining yourself is all about this question. Okay, so never, sometimes, frequently, and always. Hope the questions are very simple and straightforward, and you hope you are understanding it. This is the problem with the virtual platform. It is like I'm talking to the computer, looking at myself only on the screen. Hopefully on the other side, people are writing it or noting it. I hope that they are doing it.
Interesting questions, sir. We are getting
Sorry?
it.
You're getting it. Fine. Thank you. Thanks for the response. You know, that feels good.
We are writing also. We are writing also.
Oh, that's really nice. Thank you so much. That makes me feel good that people on the other side is listening.
Even
Okay,
the YouTube people also writing.
Oh, great. Okay, you have a feedback directly from that YouTube site.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So how often do you go for prayer or meditation exercises? This is something again, I have put it as prayer and meditation. It is not a standard questionnaire. This is how we interact with the students sometimes. And these questions are example through which you can know about your own self. So whenever daily you have some people who have a prayer in the morning and prayer in the night. Some people daily meditate in the morning and meditate in the night. If you do it always, you put it as 4. Or if you never do it, maybe I'm an atheist, I believe in myself. So never, it is 1. So it's absolutely all right. As I told you in the beginning, no right answer or no wrong answer. And I'm not going to ask you to tell me the score. And I'm not going to ask you to share your, whatever that you have. You can apply to yourself when I come back to the answer. Okay, how often do you go for prayer or meditation exercises? And last question, I guess, how often do you change your hobbies or interest? So this is again little bit related to that entertainment and spending time with friends, but still I have purposely put this question because it is all about hobbies. Sometimes, I have a hobby of collecting stamps. I have a hobby of collecting new currencies. I have a hobby of collecting new watches. I have a hobby of having different types of pens. Some people has this. If you have it, you ask yourself and say sometimes, frequently, or always. Or if you feel that I don't have much of hobby or interest and I don't pretty much change, you can put never also. So by and large, all these questions will be applied to each one of you. Very rare that people will find these questions odd, that this question doesn't suit me, because these questions have been planned and I've chosen it in such a way that it is applied to everybody. Okay, so we have done with the questions. So there are a total of 10 questions. Probably you would have scored yourself and you can total it now. The score may be ranging from minimum 10 to maximum 40. Is it so, Dr. Dharam? You would have got a score between 10 to 40.
Yes.
Great. Yeah. So hopefully everybody would have got minimum of 10 and maximum of 40. So the crux of this questionnaire, that whatever I have posted in front of you, is that if your ranging a score is between 30 to 40, 30 to 40, if you are doing it, means knowingly or unknowingly, you are doing some neurobic activity in your life. So probably you don't need this lecture also. You can quit and you can enjoy your TV time, family time, dining time. Because 30 to 40 score people are already doing it. And if you wish to continue what I'm saying, you can have more information through this talk. And those people who are ranging between 20 and 30, definitely this topic is going to benefit them, because they are, though not doing it, but they are somewhere ready for it. So this topic is going to help them to know more, and they can involve themselves in preventing brain aging. And those people who are ranging between 10 to 20, probably this lecture is exclusively for you. So it is not right or wrong, But now the fun is going to start from now on for you, because this topic is going to be for your day-to-day life activity. You can pick it up as a research work, or you can do it for yourself to keep yourself engaged. You can later on avoid Alzheimer's disease, dementia, and you will always find a new day in your life. Every day will be a new day for you. Or you can do it for common benefit of public. You can teach your son, daughter, you can teach your friends, relatives. As I was before the topic, I was sharing with Dr. Harpreet. We are doing it as a longitudinal project for some school over here in and around our place, and that is showing a lot of tremendous results. So we will be coming out with that later on. Once when it is getting published, I'll be sharing it with the public. Okay, so this is for mainly for those people who are scoring between 10 to 20. So no worries, no right answer, no wrong answer. Stay with me. We are going to enter into the topic as of now. To start with, brain's activity is something unfathomable but mysterious. There are some people, sometime you would have imagined, some patients in your hospital with stroke or with Parkinson's. You would have thought that this patient may not recover that faster. He is going to be having lifelong disability. But down the line, 3 months, 6 months, he will start showing good recovery. Many of you may agree with this statement. And vice versa. Some young stroke, you would have thought that this man will come out of it soon, but he may take a year or 2 years. So because the brain's activity is something mysterious, you may not be able to predict it. But to some extent, yes, you can always spice it up, and you can see to that this main neurobics is going to help you preventing those diseases more than recovering it back to the normalcy. Okay, so that's the amazing fact of brain. I'm going to show you a short video over here. Pardon me if the audio is not that clear, but it is self-explanatory. Let's see this video, and you will get to know the amazing facts about brain. Over. The most amazing facts about the human brain. Okay. Hope you enjoyed that video. This is actually that says that brain has the potential to. Am I audible to everyone? And is the screen is there?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. So this is the fact that brain has the potential to, that is what is all about neuroplasticity. It can change its pathway and it can redirect to many things. If you have heard about this alpha mind power, beta mind power, these are all possible. The third eye, what it is being talked over here, this is a Western based video. But if you go back to our Indian history, people have exploded not with the name of neurobics. They could able to predict the future. They could able to, in fact, there are success stories. I'm reading it blogs, and there are in books also, that people sitting inside, the interviewer is sitting inside and the person who needs to be interviewed is sitting outside, and the person could able to predict what this man is going to ask. Sometimes you will also foresee something, like we have the deja vu feeling. I had been to this place, and you may imagine that this is going to happen to you, and it will happen to you. So the brain has the capacity to predict, and it doesn't have anything, and it cannot differentiate reality and imagining. So the people who has good imagination power, the people who has got visualization skills, they can be more successful and can make the things happen as they want it. So it is a fact, and it is a proven fact in one's life also. You yourself can try this in your day-to-day. It doesn't need any research or any publications for that, because as I told you, brain has full potential and capacity, and we are no less than that supreme. That's why we, in spiritual language, we call it as Jivatma and Paramatma. It is all what is there, and that is within us. What is outside is within us. All these Panchabhutas, which is outside, is within us. So in fact, we can closely relate it to spirituality. The person who is connected in the neurological sciences, they are beyond scientists. They could able to understand the very purpose of life. So having this introductory slides, let me just take you to the little bit understanding of the biology, the science behind the brain. Brain ages. It can age biologically, psychologically, and socially. Biologically, what I mean to say is it can shrink. The size of the brain can increase or it can shrink. The sulci and the gyri can modulate itself. If you see the person's brain who is being used a lot, who has a lot of critical thinking, decision making, analytical things, they will have more sulci and gyri. It will be more like noodles. It is with all sort of ups and downs. Unused brain, probably, who are not using it the way it should be, it will be more like, jo aata gunda hua rakha before the chapati is made, soft and a structure without any ups and downs. It has a capacity to change its shape and its size. So biologically, it ages. And psychologically, yes, because if you see the recent happenings and all, this Sushant's suicidal attempt and also, the brain can lose its own capacity to cope up to these external needs. It is all the how you keep it active, how you think about it. It can go haywire also. Wiring is possible, rewiring is possible, and haywiring is also possible. And next is socially. So the brain can age socially. Either you may get detached from the society, or you can be more social. There are people who are easily, mixing up with people. The socialization part of the brain is also. So it is in all angles, how it grows, it can age also. So when we talk about the normal aging of the brain weight drops as you grow older and older, or as you don't use much, the brain weight drops. The ventricles gets widened, the neurons become fewer, and the increase in plaques and tangles, the circulation to the brain also reduces, and the brain becomes atrophied. The neurons shrink, the synapses, the more you think and more you critically analyze, more you explore things, the new synapses can happen. It is possible. It doesn't take, in the video also you see, it doesn't take a single pathway. It can take any pathways. So as it ages, that's why we sometimes, forgetfulness, and sometimes that problems of solving approach. I was like this and now I am not. You become slower in taking decisions. Reaction time, it takes time for us. In younger age, you quickly decide and you quickly react to that external threats. But later on, as it ages, you become slower. And most commonly, the word list decreases. Many people, mainly they forget the names. I remember this person, I have seen him, but I don't recollect. Or while making a sentence, you get stuck with the word. Which word should I use? So these are all common clinical symptoms. If you are running short of words, or you are searching for words, means you have to spice up your brain and you have to start doing some neurobic things. Okay. And the sad part is the decline, the brain aging starts at the age of 30. So we are now nearing 50, means the graph is now in the down phase. You can make it status quo or you can make it up also based on that, because those youngsters who are sitting now less than 20, 30, 25 years has a great chance to avoid the decline. You can be able to do it but the natural phenomenon aging starts at the age of 30. And after 60 years, verbal decline more notable. I have seen it in my own day-to-day life. My grandfather, even for my father matter, my father who is now 75, sometimes they search for words while talking to, he uses my other sister's name while taking my other sister's name. So they mix up the things. Decision making slows and reaction time lengthens. That the problem is that, very late you realize that somebody has, made fun of you, but you couldn't able to react to it, So these are all common aging which can happen as you grow. Normal brain changes in older adults. So normal age-related memory changes. We need to know certain things are normal. Certain things which happen in your life that you may have some delay or some challenges. You cannot take everything as abnormality. Attentional changes in the age. So I'll be putting some few examples over here for you to understand that everything is not abnormal. Certain things are normal with age. Like, as we grow older, you get white hairs, which is normal. And if you want to dye it, it's up to you. But otherwise, you should not worry about it. Certain things will happen. The skin shrinks. How much ever you go to the parlor to make it toned up, but still it will show up. Certain things should be considered as normal. What are those? So that whether it is a red flag or a yellow flag or a green flag, you will get to know. So what's normal? I'll put a question over here. You can just answer yourself since it's a virtual platform. I can't think of the word. It's on tip of my tongue. As I was telling you before, you forget certain words. Okay. So whether it is normal or abnormal, it can be normal. If it is beyond 60, it is normal. If it is less than that, you are running short of certain difficulty with naming, especially people's name is normal, but other parts of language should not change. I mean to say that, when you are using a vernacular language, vocabulary, certain words, name is quite common because it is common across, so that is quite common. But if it is less than 60 years, you have to think about it. If it is 60 and above, it's okay. It's normal. It's normal to be forgetful at my age. But you put your question to yourself, whether it is normal, it's not normal. Short-term memory should be preserved at least until your 70s. These are all reviewed from the literatures, which I'm quoting it over here. And this short-term memory, you should be able to, if I ask this question, how many of you can answer yourself? Yeah, the question goes like this. You can ask yourself. Today we are Thursday. Just let's go back a week. Last Thursday, which was 16th of July. Can you remember what dress you were wearing? Can you remember what was your dinner? Can you remember where did you go that evening? What you were doing that evening? Can you remember the happenings which had happened in the last Thursday? Like, ask yourself certain questions like this and try to recall. You may take time. It doesn't mean that we want it just in a second. We don't want in a snap of your finger. But you should be able to recollect what was my attire on that day. Where was I? In the evening, what I was doing? What was the dinner at home? Or did I go out and I did socialization with my friends, or I met someone, or what was the happening in the day? So you should be able to, because I guess many of us sitting in this platform must be less than 50. So we should be able to recollect that. You should be able to. I can do that out of practice. Now, so how is the exercise? Is there any exercise? No need. There are some certain things called as neurolinguistics. You can. There are courses happening in the world. There are some college. There are some institutes which offers these things. Need not. You can put it in your day-to-day life practice. Sit for some time and recollect everything. The best way is to do introspection. Best way is to review everything. You can just go start by yesterday's activity. Gradually make it 2 days before what happened. Gradually make it 3 days before. There are people who can even recollect it a month before at a certain particular time what had happened. You will remember certain thing which is either painful to you or more pleasurable to you. But routine happenings also you should be able to know. Next is like if your son or your daughter says, Dad, you just aren't as flexible as you used to be. Why is it taking you so long learn how to use the computer? If you people ask this, if your son or a daughter asks, and if you are having such issues, is it normal? It can be normal because mental flexibility and abstract reasoning decline with age. Again, it is above 40. If you have this thing, it can be a challenge. You can take, but still there are people who develop it. It is possible. What I mean to say is it is normal, but why do you allow that inflexibility to happen to you? You can still, learning is a never-ending process. There are people who learns computer, and my dad can use the mobile phone so frequently, comfortably. He can open up anything and everything at the age of 75. It is how you have the charm for learning it. You can do it, but it is quite normal if you have that. Next is, I'm just not as fast at things anymore. That you feel that I'm slowing down. I cannot able to react faster, or I take too much time. I keep something at a place and I'm searching for it elsewhere. It may happen sometime you would have worn your watch in your hand, but you will be searching where my watch is. Your mobile phone will be in your pocket, but you will be searching here and there. Your keys will be in your pocket. It will be hanging in your belt buckle, but you will be searching for it. I'm not just as fast as things anymore. It can be normal. Processing speed slows with age. Again, beware that it is beyond 60 only. It is normal, but it should be before 60. You should not be having such things. Either you are absent-minded, or you are over-pressurized, or you are running a monotonous life for which you have to really make it spiced up. I get distracted so easily, which is quite common for the students. It can be normal because my mind searches for new things. I just am not as smart as I used to be. Nowadays, everybody has got smartphones, but people are not that smarter. Is it a fact? It's not normal. Comprehensive knowledge should remain intact. You need to be smarter. There is no age limit for. There are young old people who are 80 also as smart as you and me are. So here I'm showing some certain things. The graph, if you see the green line, which is the normal progression up to 30 years, 35, 40, you'll be going up your brain level, and then gradually it declines. But unfortunately, if these problems come in our life, brain diseases, stroke, head injury, if you consume alcohol so frequently and your stress levels are high, and probably certain genetics factors which are non-modifiable, and education, health, social environment, multiple factors who are all here, who are less socializing, and they will land up into the decline will be much more faster. So we have to stay away from all these external factors, non-modifiable risk factors. You can have a healthy diet. You can do regular exercise. You can avoid too much of consumption of alcohol. You can engage yourself in social activity. You can give yourself some mental exercises. You can prevent many things. So in that case, you could able to preserve your cognitive ideas. So how to modify the risk factors? This is not this topic is not towards that, but I'm just putting it over here as a hint. Don't be a drug defaulter. Those people who are taking medicines for it, please continue taking that. Increase your physical activity. That's how physiotherapists. I proudly say I am a physiotherapist, because everyone on this planet is your patient. Every individual, today or tomorrow. It need not to be a patient, because you are more into wellness programs now. You are more into preventive medicine. You are more into health promotion. So this Neurobics is also one of the health promotion activity. You could able to spread it across to the schools, because in one of my studies which you are doing it, the memory level increases by doing this Neurobics. They could able to recall. The recall memory is much more faster. Their performance increases. So that is possible. Physiotherapists can walk into any area of activity. That's the beauty of our profession. So take it up and increase your mental activity. Eat well. Stay social. That's more important. This is essential. Like this virtual platform, there are many people who know me, who doesn't know me, and I know a few, and I may not be knowing few. Try to establish a rapport. Try to establish a connection, and that's how I say this. Traveling is pleasure. Whenever you just take your bicycle and go on a countryside ride. It's not that always you have to buy a costly ticket and fly to Prague, Czech Republic, or to UK, Scotland. You can just explore your own areas. Just go behind your house. There may be a lush green place, small village, hamlet. Take your cycle, go for a good walk, meet people over there, know their culture, talk to them, learn new language. So that way my Neurobic activity increased once I moved out of my house. Being born in a South Indian family, my native is Tamil, and then being in a school, we learned English, and my second language being Pondicherry was a little bit of French. Hindi was not known to me. I moved to Punjab, I learned Hindi, I learned Punjabi, now I'm learning Gujarati. These are all certain things which really keeps up keeps you always younger, alert, active. So try to take challenges. The underlying one take home message in this topic, if you are understanding the whole crux or not, take challenges. Don't be afraid of taking any new steps. Let it be a failure, no problem. Failure is inevitable. They are all stepping stones. You learn out of it. I always quote this as an example. Thomas Alva Edison, many of us know. He is the person who invented the bulb, because of whom only we are sitting in the night with all these bulbs on. He was the first person. And when this gentleman came up with that Eureka bulb, and he presented it to the group of people, and he was giving an interview, and he said, this was the 1000th time I could able to invent the bulb. I was failure for so many times, and it took this much attempt, and I got the bulb. And one of the person in the crowd said, oh my God, you have taken so much time to invent this bulb, 1000 times, that is something, a huge waste. But this Edison, what he said was, I have showed you how to create a bulb. You know only one way of making a bulb, but I know 999 ways of how not to make a bulb. He has explored that path. That is the beauty of taking challenges. That's how these scientists and all they have their sulcus and gyri big. Even if they say this, their brains are also used only 5%. 95% is not used. Imagine you and me. We are not scientists. We are still on an average. I don't know about others. I am an average guy doing some average work. So probably mine will be 0.001% of brain which I'm using. So imagine the power of brain. You have so much potential. If a person from 5% to 10%, 10 to 20, then you will be out of the world. But it is not that easy. You have to take challenges. You have to enjoy each and every moment of your life. You have to be in the present. Forget about when you are listening, talking to this, just be there and take the points. That's it. Simple as that. Most important is adequate sleep, because we grow while we sleep. Our mind needs rest also, because the many people, I personally feel that, not now, some few years before, when I go to the bed, I feel my body relaxing, my legs, my arms, my muscles are all relaxing, but the thought process always goes. The brain never stops thinking. It is just keep on going on. So how do you rest yourself? You have to practice your brain also to rest for some time. That's very essential. So morning you get up with all freshness, and the brain looks up for new challenges, and you will be happy to do it. If it is keep on thinking, the fatigue occurs. Like how you keep doing this biceps activity throughout 365 days, 24/7. You can imagine what will happen. Other than hypertrophy, something else will happen. Same is the case with the brain. It is just a tissue again. You have to give adequate rest also. You should practice. So sleep, in fact, is close to death. That's why every morning is a new morning. It is a blessing that God has given one more day. So adequate sleep is also very essential. We need to experience that. So that will also help you to avoid brain aging at a younger age. Stay positive. This is the slide I've shown a picture over here. It is available in the net. Many of you can read evil and many of you can read good. It's always say the negative space. Avoid that. Try to be positive. We always say that in a glass half filled or half empty. Look at the positive. Everything has got its own side, but it is up to us to look into it. Have self-care efficacy. Report better subjective healthy ratings. Stay socially engaged. So aging is inevitable, but age better. So you should always, by heart and by brain, you should be younger. The physical body can age, but your heart and the brain should stay younger. So for that, you have to be always positive. I'm not giving a motivational talk. Beware, it is all science, but this will also help you to keep your brain active. So I was telling, this is about how to avoid traffic jam. There's a picture over here. All these 5 senses you all are aware: touch, taste, smell, sound, and sight. So these are these 5 senses through which we work, we explore, we do activities. But it's a separate topic by itself. We can identify ourselves. There are a lot of questionnaires, a lot of methods, a lot of skills that we do it in the school. You can identify this child is touch dependent or more of taste dependent, smell dependent, sound dependent, and sight dependent. So to me, if I have to take myself as an example, I'm a touch dependent guy. I like to feel the structures. I like to feel. If I cannot imagine until unless I hold it. There may be some people who like the smell. Through smell, they feel the aura. Many people may be visually dependent. Till they see, they don't believe it. So these are certain areas, that the senses which we have. But unfortunately, what happens, we create a traffic jam by adopting any one sense for all our purpose. I always use touch. I never use sight. I never use sound. And it can happen. It can be in any of this for yourself. We are mostly dependent on any of one or two senses. Very few people use all these 5 senses effectively. As an example, to quote it over here, let me take a simple example of day-to-day life activity: eating dinner. Many of you would not have had a dinner now, because, or maybe we'll be closer to the dining time. Now try to practice this sitting in front of the dining table with that plate in front of you. So first thing is that, try to smell it. How many of it take that aloo parantha or chole puri or even upma simple and smell it? Let the smell sense be there. You eat through your smell, and then you sight it. Enjoy the food, how it is placed over there. Involve your visual thing, and then feel it. If it is an idli, touch and feel the texture. And if possible, sound. If your wife or mother is cooking over there, hear those tadka sound and everything. If not, while you are breaking that or taking out that one burki out of it, you see the sound, how it is, and then taste it. 90% of the people they go grab it, eat it, and go. Now there are people in the fast moving world, they have fast food in one hand, drive the car and keep eating it and go away. They don't know what they eat and how it tasted. Just fill that stomach and go away. So it's a simple neurobic of involving everything. Even for wearing a shirt, enjoy the color of the shirt, texture of the thing, and you put a perfume, feel it, and feel it on the body, touch how this shirt feels it. Cotton shirt pehne mein kya feel aata hai, synthetic pehne mein kya feel aata hai, and warmers when you are wearing it, how it feels. So try to use that. So avoid traffic jam. Don't be dependent on one sense. So the good news is that you could able to still develop new synapses, still have the capacity to develop neurons. Even at the age of, if there are 60, 70-year-old man can also do this. Thought processes, memory, reasoning, learning can be retained, but maybe slow. As I told you, aging is inevitable, but we can age better. So the good news is Neurobics. I'm entering into that main crux of it. It is invented by Duke University by a neurobiologist, Lawrence Katz. He has talked about this. The activity should be completely, so to this activity, Neurobic is just talking about this mainly to prevent memory loss and increase mental fitness. How we go to a gym, we go for fitness. Similarly, this is a neuro gym. You are going to activate your brain cells. So the simple way is to engage all the senses and avoid doing the regular routine. Remove that regular routine. Try to engage in new activity. So turn on the synapses. Turn on those switches regularly. Old neurons grow, new dendrites. Brain can still grow, adapt and change patterns. हमको लगता है हम rigid है, हमारा thought process rigid है, but brain has the capacity to adapt. At the age of 50 also you can become more flexible, because I see myself every day maturing properly. The aging helps me out in knowing many things. I was not like how I am today. I was not the teacher what I am today. I was different person. My temperament was different 10 years before, 5 years before, and today. So it is possible, and you can adapt yourself and you can improve yourself. The benchmark is very high. It is something which is invisible to you. So try to achieve those benchmark by knowing yourself, and consciously, we call it as mindfulness. Know what you are doing. Do what you are knowing. So involve yourself completely hard. That's why it is exercising the mind-body connections. You have to involve. People confuse with yoga also. Yoga also is one way of doing it, but it is a routine practice where you have a monotonous way of working it. Neurobic is a little bit scientific, where you try to spice it up. You can do random activities. That is what is. Anything and everything is neurobic, which is routine se hatke jo hum karte hain, right? That is what is use it or lose it. So keep the synapses working, engaging all these senses. So the simple examples can be, normally what we do is in our day-to-day life, when I conduct this lecture live or in face-to-face, we take them to a different plane. Creative imagery, we call it as. Even you can practice right now also. Dr. Harpreet was asking if we can do some practical session. It's a simple practice. If you can, if I'll take 2 minutes to explain to you one simple example. Brain, as you have seen in the slide, in that video also, brain is faster than anything else. In just a spark, you can able to travel faster more than light. So close your eyes. You can try doing this if you can. I'll give a simple example of how to create an imagery. You can just close your eyes, honestly. Then try to hear the noises around you. Maybe the fan which is revolving above your head, or if you are sitting in an air-conditioned room, the mild blow of the AC, or sometimes dogs which is barking outside, or some people walking around in the next room, your mother or wife cooking in the kitchen, or sometimes your child playing something, the toys noise. Be aware of what is happening. Close your eyes, concentrate on the sound which is happening around you. Each and every minute details. Now gradually switch over from this. You can imagine, I'll give you two choices. If those people who are not with their parents right now, or your close near and dear ones, to me, my parents, because my parents are in South and I'm here, I can imagine my parents. For some people, you can imagine your close friend, and try to imagine the whole structure of the person right from top to toe. If I imagine my father, I could able to vividly see the baldness in his head, the face, the nose, shape of the nose, the ear, how it is, the lips, how it is, the neck, how it is when he is wearing a dhoti and a shirt, how it looks like, the way he walks. And we need not have to practice this. I'm sure that each one of you could imagine the person so vividly, like what you can do. Or for example, you can imagine a place. Last year, you would have visited a new place. It may be Switzerland. It may be in one of the NCRs. You would have gone to Delhi to a new place, or in a village. Just try to go back and see how it was that place was. It may be a Qutub Minar, it may be a temple, it may be a park. Try to be there. Or for that matter, the place which you have not visited yet. It may be Switzerland, Alps mountain, you have not visited yet, but you have seen in the movie, you have seen in the photograph. You can place yourself there that you are walking on the snow-cladded mountain, capped mountain with full of snow around. You're walking on it with a big boot on your leg, and you're trying to balance walking on the Alps mountain. Do you find it difficult? I'm sure it is not. You can. So we in our face-to-face lecture, we take you to a different plane. It takes 15-20 minutes, and people enjoy that. It is not meditation. It is not any other spiritual practice. It is about exploring your neurons, creating new synapses. Okay. Then simple way is mathematics. Mathematics helps you to do neurobics. Count back from 100 by 7. You can do reverse counting. You can do skipping 3 numbers, skipping 10 numbers, remember an event from your past and recall the details. As I told you, you can feel yourself. You can even, how many of you can right now, if I put a question, how many of you can remember or feel or could smell the rose? You already, right now, you don't have a rose in your hand. But if I say the word rose, could you able to smell that rose? If you are doing it, your brain is very sharp. You could able to recall that smell also. We can recall the sound also. We can recall the event also. So if you could not able to smell it, and after 10 minutes, keep that away and try to smell it. There are people who could able to smell the person also. That particular smell is my mother's smell, my son's smell, my daughter's smell, So that is all something that means that you are mindful. Your brain is recording everything. So these are all simple activity which can help you in your day-to-day life to keep yourself younger and active. So present the brain with unusual experiences, stimulate neural activity and connection. So something which is unusual is going to be a neurobic activity. That is, example is use your non-dominant hand. If you are a right hand person and quickly you can answer it, which hand you use to brush yourself? You use right hand because you are right hand. You use your right hand to write, use your right hand to comb, but try doing it with non-dominant side. You brush tomorrow morning with your left hand. If you're a left hand, do it with your right hand. You comb your hair with your other hand. Spice up your life. Try new foods. Use other senses to do common tasks. So sometimes I do this. One of my simple regular neurobic activities, I walk closing my eyes. Even sometime in the morning when I walk from my doctor's quarters to my office, at some stretch, I close my eyes and walk. And you try to walk in that is why if you have seen a person who is blind will have other senses very, very sharp. A blind person can hear even a minute noise which is happening around because his other sense is sharp because one of the senses is shut. But we as so-called normal people with all the things intact, but we are deaf at one point, we are blind at one point, we are muted at many points. So that is why, you have to use those different senses and try using non-dominant side. You can go to the wardrobe tomorrow morning, a simple example, and close your eyes and touch the shirt, feel the shirt, which is of that car, for that matter, if any girl is there, you are chudidar, and see what, by feeling the shirt, you should know it is my blue color shirt, it is my yellow color shirt, which I'm going to wear. Close it and do it. And keep your car key elsewhere. Don't put it at the routine place. And tomorrow morning, you can tell your wife or your son or daughter to keep, and you search for it. Explore it. That's more important. Break the monotony. Okay. Read something new. Daydream. It is not for the students sitting in the classroom to daydream, but as and when possible, try to open up your wings to imagine. Try different music. Add a new word vocabulary. That's why I told you, learning a new language, being a multilinguistic, your neuro-linguistic power increases. Try a new dance or a skill or a sport. Don't be shy. Learn at any age. If you like music, you can't play violin, go for a violin class if you find time. Change a path. It's a simple one. Don't adopt the same routine path from your house to BLK Kapoor Hospital. Take a different route to reach your hospital. Take a challenge, but it is tough in Delhi traffic probably. But wherever possible, try whatever you can. Stop somewhere new. That's the fun in a long drive. I take my car and go across the country. So I just stop at one point, get out of the car, look at the place surroundings, meet a person over there, talk to them. Sometimes conferences and all helps you to stay connected. So we should encourage people to attend various. It is not alone for knowledge gaining. It is about meeting new people, talking to them, learning certain things. Make a new friend. That's again a neurobic. If you see, neurobic is not tough. You will be doing it in everyday life. Debate. Pick up a topic. Argue. Just go for it or against it. And listen closely to what it is. See criticism. Let the people praise you. Let the people talk ill about you. Let it be. Just analyze it. Try a new food. Use all your senses. Okay. Play games. You can. It is not like PUBG and all to get hooked into it. But take a challenge. Try doing it. Be creative. So these are certain examples which I have talked to you about neurobics. You can develop your own neurobic exercise. It is not it's not rocket science. It's about understanding it, knowing what you are doing it, and try to do something which is not usual to your day-to-day life activity. So as I told you, it is about using the other side. The brain catches a new pathway. Right to left, it is left to right. Sight, smell and touch. Smell it and identify it. Touch it and identify it. Okay. And then you can, as it is, shutting out one senses and doing it. I think we are nearing to that 1 hour time. I'm taking few more minutes. Reading the book upside down. This is one of my fun habit. I keep the book on the opposite side and I read from this side. That will also, keep your brains more active. It is an amazing tool that God has given. You can achieve anything and everything using that, but you should have a target what it is. Don't try using it for others. Use it for yourself first of all. So this is another neurobic activity. And change your breakfast. Smell it. So have some fun in day-to-day life activities. Find something new every day. It can be learning a new word, it can be tasting a new food, or it can be meeting new people, or it can be visiting new places. Take it as a challenge, or it can be taking new activity as a challenge and doing it. There are some people who doesn't like to innovate. There are some people who doesn't like to take challenges. They are useless for themselves and useless for society. Take it as a challenge. So you will also grow, the institution also will grow, the profession also will grow, and the society gets benefit out of our challenges. And when you are successful, let the failure knock your door, no problem. You knock it down. So listen to new music, variety of musics. Okay. So these are some simple neurobic activities. With the time limited, I'm showing it to you. I have a small good video for you. And that video is an example, and that can, you can take it as an example and you can do that on your own. So this video, you can watch it. It's an interesting video. Yeah, just a second. I'm sharing it over here. I have time to show, no, Dr. Shagun or Dr. Dharam?
Yes,
we can.
yes, go ahead, sir, please.
Yeah, okay. This is just 4 to 5 minutes. Yes. Okay, here I want all the participants to look into the slide, look into the video, and there will be letters written multicolored, and I want you to see the color, not the word. Okay, let's see how many of you could able to do it within the time limited. This is how it is going to be. So I want you to read red as not red, it should be black, like that. So try for yourself and see how fast you could able to be. It should be green, black, red, green, yellow, black. You can try. Blue, black, red. So amazingly, when I did this for the school children, in fact, they are much more faster than us. And in fact, we can create it on our own. You can increase the speed and you can be much more faster also. And the child copes up very fast because the growing brain, young brains are much more faster in identifying the things. And they're both the hemispheres are engaged. But unfortunately, as we grow older and older, we are dependent on one particular hemisphere, because of which we miss that colorful side of other. You have to sequence the numbers, go fast as much as you can, and you have to go, you should not miss the sequence, ascending order. Search for the numbers in the sequence order. I want people to put it in the chat box or in the YouTube, wherever, that which number is missed out in this. I'll see later.
Nineteen. 19 को मिस हुआ नहीं 19 है वो
This is a funny exercise, but it is very tough. But day-to-day life, we practice it. At the end of it, I can tell you what is that we do daily. You have to make the gestures. I want each one of you to keep the mobile, if it is in your hand, in front of you, and our laptop. You can try doing this. It's a very fantastic exercise to engage your brain. Try this. To keep changing it alternatively. You know, it is like having the arti and the bell on both the hands, and I have seen people do both the things like this, or they will shake this also. So it is not that easy. It needs a lot of practice and training, but it is one set of exercises. You can make different shapes. You can try doing it in the air also. If you don't have a piece of paper and pencil, you can try doing it in the air.
अलग-अलग बोल रहा है।
You must be reminded of Three Idiots virus, where he used both the hands to write it. There are some people who are ambidextrous. They try to do both the things simultaneously and parallelly. So, oh, sorry. So this is a. Oh. So these are some simple set of exercises probably which will help us. So if you see, it is not a very tough task to do anything. All that you have to do is take it as a challenge. Try, keep doing it, and practice makes a man perfect, a woman perfect. It is only the practice. So try doing it. So in everyday day-to-day life activities, it is not about doing it multitasking with mistakes. So forget about mistake, no problem. As I told you in the beginning, failures will happen. Try to do multitasking, engage your brain in 2-3 works parallel and see how much successful you are. But don't try this doing it in a challenging area where you are not supposed to make mistakes, but you can do at small areas. As I told you, example, when you're going for today's dinner, try to feel the food, what it is, smell it, understand it, and do it. And tomorrow morning or night before you go to bed, while brushing, use your non-dominant hand. Tomorrow morning, have the feel of the water flowing on you and take a new route to your office work. That's how it is going to keep your brain engaged. So I'm at the end of my talk, and these are my references and the resources from where I had taken up. With the time, I think I could able to do it on time, 1 hour I did. So this is the presentation, and thanks everyone, and God bless everyone to remain safe, happy, healthy, longer, and aging better. And this is my contact number and email ID. For any queries or any literatures related to it, I'll be happy to share it to the people. So over to the organizers. Thank you so much for your patience listening. With the limited time, I could able to do some justification in this topic. As it was asked by Dr. Shagun to change the topic, I hope it is justified. Anybody wants to
Really,
add?
sir, you justified it.
Thank you.
Dr. Harpreet, I would like to invite you.
Yeah, good evening, Dr. Harihara Prakash. It was really enlightening to hear you like it is every time. And I feel that this is one area that you rightly mentioned can be captured by physiotherapists because not because it is somebody else's, but because it is our own. And while I was listening to your talk, I had a few questions in mind, like, uh, can it be used for retraining of senses or functions, just because I got the idea, like CIMT is done by restraining one hand so that the other hand can develop much more. Sometimes for balance, you use glasses which shows you hazy pictures so that you rely more on proprioception. So somewhere we are using these principles, but I
Very
don't
true.
know how far it is into rehabilitation and research of patients.
You are well said, Dr. Harpreet. Exactly, that is what is all about Neurobics. We are doing it CAMT and all is, you are using the other side which is not involved. So the thing is that the Neurobics has been, even we are also doing it on normal. As I told you, it is in the school projects we are doing it. But retraining happens because the body has the resilience power, knowingly or unknowingly. We use the other senses when one is affected. But Neurobics talks about when it is all alert, also you try to put off one sense and do it. So in fact it is one step before. It's mainly for preventive aspect, mainly for promotive aspect, but
Right.
there is a scope that this can be used for some patients, and we could able to bring in some results, amazing results using this. Added on to that, as I was talking about in one of the slides, creative imagery. When we are doing this activity, even the mirror therapy also does it. We are cheating the brain. So we are, the person imagines while he is doing his activity, affected side, but he imagines that I could able to use this limb. Let me move my arm mentally. That he, though it is not moving physically, but mentally he imagines that the movement is occurring. So the brain registers that. And there are some success stories which are all documented in some good books I have read it, that the person could able to retrain the lost function with the help of imagining, having visualization that he is getting it. So
Right.
that way he has
Right.
used that imaginative power, visualization power, the brain power to bring back the lost function. So when that is
Right.
the case in physiotherapy, when we are using CAMT or balance training or coordination movements, yes, of course, the creating challenge, you are trying to cope up with that situation, brings back the lost function in a faster way. Maybe the time span may be lesser when you add on this component to your routine day-to-day life
Yes.
therapeutic intervention.
Sir, there was just another question that sometimes people say that we are using less amount of brain, like only 5% of our brain, 10% of our brain, and we can increase the capacity of how much we can use the brain. Don't you think that brain is a very efficient and energy saving organ of the body, and the lesser it is used, the better it works? That means the more synapses it has, with the lesser amount of neurons it is working. So, does the percentage of neurons working really matter to a skill or learning like that?
Okay, you are getting on to the little bit technical aspect of what we have talked about in the previous 15-20 minutes. See, it is in fact brain has the capacity for rewiring. So by involving, taking up the different activities, various challenges, we in fact change the pathways of the brain to reroute to achieve results faster. So it is all about, it is more than increasing the neurons. It is about creating synapses, connections, and these new connections, when it is being established, the results what is achieved is going to be faster. It is about not doing repetitive thing for same time monotonous. It is about doing various activities and engaging different parts of the brain. In our day-to-day life physiotherapy practice also, when we do dual tasking and all, we talk at the same time, we juggle a ball and we walk. So this is where we are engaging various parts of the brain. So a person already knows, like for example, as I told myself as an example, I'm more of a kinesthetic person, because of which I was missing the other components. I identified with some various methods which are all there available in the public domain also. So now what I tried to do was engaging the other senses, avoiding traffic jam to one particular area. Thereby I'm engaging all the parts of the brain. It is about, as I use it or lose it. So more that you use, the more innovative you will be, the more active will be, the more freshness will be there, and there will be a new insight into that particular area of work. Because many people sometimes feel boredom because that they have been doing the same similar type of work. So ultimately, this changes the conviction, the path of how you are doing it, how much involvement you are doing it. That makes the difference. Skill is one thing, of course, we need to have that basic skill. Apart from that, how much enjoyable the activity is, how much you as a therapist and the patient is getting involved decides the recovery faster and quicker.
Yes, sir. So I think your point clearly mentions that more than quantity, it is more about quality and variety of work that you
Variety.
do.
That's right.
Yeah,
Variety
thank
is the
you.
key word.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Harihar Prakash, for being with us today and sharing this information. Thank you.
Thank you all, four
Thank you,
of you,
sir.
all three of
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
I hope.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye and good night. Stay safe and try keep taking challenges. God bless everyone.